wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, Mr. Milad.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon to Mr. Kuku.
Okay, hello. May I have your time for a while for my study? Uh, the talk is about the interviewing an interpreter or person who had experience as an interpreter. Uh, so, for base my opinion, you have been interpreter before. So may I can interview you because for your experience.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have a little bit of experience to be an interpreter when I was in fifth semester, I thought.
Okay, let's be going to the question.
Yeah.
I have several questions for you,
Mm-hmm.
but the first is based on your effort to be interpreter. What's experience in your uh, to be interpreter? Your
Um,
experience?
you want me to tell my experience to be an interpreter?
Yes, yes.
Well, first thing first, that you have to know that actually I'm not a professional interpreter. As you can see that I'm not educated to be an interpreter yet. I take what English language educations that make me usual to use make me common to use English in activity. So when I was in first semester, my lecturers ordered me to be an assistant for professors. The name is Jack Research. If you want to ask, if you want to search about him, you will find his or her his or his article or his book in a lot of journals. So yeah, let's continue to my story. At the time I was in the aquatics name of one of focal conference in UMY that has been conducted by English Language Education Department, and one of the keynote speaker is Jake Research. So I'll be his assistant for several days just to accompany and make sure that he will be okay in Jakarta, because actually he didn't need that because he has a lot of experience in Jakarta, and visiting he has been visiting Indonesia for several times. So I just I just ordered by my lecturers that I have to accompany that professors and fulfill what he want to do. That's my experience. So yeah, if you say that I am a professional interpreter, so actually I can deny it, but I have experience to be a connectors between the drivers or between the people, local people there, and the professor. For example, if the professor want to buy something and they just want to bargain with the seller, I just ask the professor, Professor, do you want to buy these kind of things? Okay, I will ask for the price. So the professor will bargain, or in Indonesia we call it menawar. And then the local people say that, for example, Pak, ini harganya berapa? 50.000 rupiah. Then I said to my professor, Professor, the price for this kind of thing is 100,000. So like this.
Okay. For the next question is based on your experience, what the advantages of being interpreter? What do you think
So
about that?
so I think to be an interpreter is a good activity, I thought. If you want to if you want to try, if you want to practice your speaking ability, that's a good chance, and it's a good occasions if you want to like what you have learned about a lot of things in speaking, like the daily speaking context, such as asking direction, asking opinions, and so forth. So if you want to practice it, try. This is the right place if you want to practice it. Like you can speak with the you are able to speak with the native speakers. So you may see what is your weakness and your what. your weakness and your strength. And so you can improve if you have already taught, if you have already spoken with the native speakers, so you can assume that you have some weaknesses, so you can improve yourself to cover your weaknesses. And that's the first. The second is, I do believe that being interpreters will need a lot of vocabularies. So I do believe that being interpreters will enrich your vocabulary, such as specific vocabulary. Such, if you want to explain for example, when I was in that case, when I was in that situations, my the professor and I went to one of museum. Name is wait a minute, one of museum in Kaliurang. So I have to explain what kind of statue is this, or what kind of building is this. Like, you have to enrich your vocabulary, and you have to prepare it before you explain it. Like the night before my professor and the night before my the professor and I went to the museum, I learned a little bit about the museum. And yeah, that's the advantage that I can take if I am an interpreter.
Okay. That's next. The for the next question is, what do you think to be interpreter have difficulties? What what you think about that? The difficulties to be interpreter based on your experience about that. Do you have
Well, yeah,
challenges?
yeah, of course. To be interpreters is a challenges activity, I think, because first you have to know the accents. The professor that I accompany for 3 days, I think, he has a unique accent. They don't have any stress. He doesn't have any stress in speaking. He just speak. I'm sorry, your can you just put off your microphone? Thank you. Um, the thing that the thing that my be my barrier in my experience to be an interpreter is that you have to know the accents. You have to know several accents, like British accents, American accents, even the persons they don't have accents, the foreigner. And that's the first. The second is you have to know the specific word or specific vocabularies. For example, the building from the Kraton building. How can you explain it in if you are an interpreter? How can you explain? Please explain about Kraton in your opinion.
The castle.
The castle, but the castle is
Yes.
different. The castle is a building that the old building in what the old building in Western, but the Karaton is not same as the castle. It's different. It's little bit different. You may answer it. What's Kraton? If the professor asks what is Kraton, you may answer it with an old building that supposed to be a sultan place or something that ordinary place in Jakarta. That's the specific word. And the second is the foreigner. You may find the foreigner that they don't know what you are saying about. Like, for example, when I was to be his assistant, I found that he I found that once or twice a time, twice I found that he didn't know what I'm saying about. So I have to use a body language to cover that. That's the challenges, I think.
Okay. For the last question is, based your opinion, what are the best interpreter practice?
So yeah, thing that you have to emphasize if you want to be a good interpreter is that you have to enrich your vocabulary. We can deny that interpreters should have a lot of vocabularies and a lot of experiences, but vocabularies is the essential things if you want to be an interpreter. The second is you have to practice. Yeah, a wise person said that practice makes perfect, but I think practice is not make you perfect, but practice makes you better than before. So if you want to be a good interpreter, so I think you have to practice like you you watch a video in YouTube and then you like TED Talk and so on and so forth. So and then you pause each 5 seconds or each 10 seconds. So um and you want to translate it, not primarily translate, but you imitate, you manipulate, but it should be translated in your language. Such as if the persons say that, ladies and gentlemen, today is a great day for America, and you pause it, and then you say, Bapak Ibu hadirin terhormat, sekarang adalah hari yang sangat besar di Amerika atau hari yang kita peringati di Amerika. Sounds like that if you want to be a practice to be an interpreter. Besides, if you are not to be interpreters, but you still practice it as in interpreters, your vocabularies, your speaking practice will increase as the time goes by. So, that's the essential things if you want to be a good interpreter. The first is enrich your vocabularies, and the second is practice. Practice not makes you practice not make you perfect, but practice makes you be better than before. That's what I'm thinking about.
Okay, I think that's all for my question. Thank you for your occasion in this time. Okay, okay, that's for all. Thank you very much, Mr. Melats.
Yeah, sure. My pleasure.
Okay, see you.
Yeah, see you.
The conclusion what I got from this interview is interpreters a great job, but interpreters need much practice to result in good interpreting. Because in this job you will find several accents which you need to be understood what the person say based on their accent. And the advantages of the interpreter can increase your vocabulary because you need more about vocabulary to make a good communication. And the challenges to be interpreters are you must understand with the people accents around the world, and you must know the specific vocabulary to explain the particular topic. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much and see you.